Today I'm just going to make this video to show you how I fit the C5 front rotor and calipers onto the C4 setup that's going into my Apache truck. As you can see, I've got a couple of spindles here. This is actually the one that I was supplied with the order. I know I specifically asked for an 85 because I knew they had the larger holes. Silly me, when I got it, didn't even bother checking, just assumed I'd been sent the right thing. But this is an 84 spindle, only has 12mm holes, and this here has a flat face, which doesn't work because when you go to put on the adapter for the early Corvette stuff, which you can find online, obviously the holes they drop in size, you can't put your bolts through. And this sits flat on here, which pushes the caliper out, which causes the rotor to rub on the inside. So yeah, if you're trying to do a C5 onto a C4, you can't use the 84 spindles. You can, however, go and do what I've just done and find an 85 spindle. As you can see, that isn't flush, so this comes along, drops down, and these have 14mm holes, which allow you to mount this up and rebate, or effectively drop this in, which allows the rotor to sit central. The instructions I found said to make this out of a piece of 9mm plate, which we don't have in New Zealand. We get 8 or 10, so I made them out of 8 and 10, and I found that 10 also works sufficiently fine. So I'm just going to pause this for a sec, reassemble the hub, put on the caliper bracket to show you what I mean. So I just went and quickly mounted the caliper bracket. So as you can see, this is on my 85 spindle. I've just got an old hub here sitting there still. There is a slight rebate between the hub face and the caliper mounting face. I'm putting my bolts that way. I put a small panel washer in here so that the spring washer didn't bite into the aluminium. Now I'm just going to pause this again to drop the rotor hat on. Stand by. And boom, the rotor is now on. So there is my C5 rotor sitting on my C4 spindle with my adapter plate just sitting there as well. I'm just going to throw a couple of these on quickly to hold that on there so it doesn't fall off. Everything's just been done up finger tight at the moment for this, but you get the idea. And there we have my rotor still attached with a couple of bolts, my caliper bracket on my 85 spindle. Then comes along this puppy, and I'm going to try and do this one-handed, but it's a heavy beast. I have got the brake shoes in there. Oh, stand by. I've actually still got a bracket attached to this one. Alright, now that we've taken that off, that will go this way here. And somehow or other, there we go, that will just slide into there. Stand by. Sorry about that, just rolled it over. So as you can see, I now have a couple of these. Because of the size of the holes and the locationing, you can't use a normal bolt. You've got to use one of these ones with the Allen key in the top of it. I'm just finger tightening that into there. Oh. Screwing those in. Finger tight. And there you have my 85 or early C4, 85, 86, 87 with a C5 rotor and C5 Corvette spindle. The rubbing noise is just the pad sitting on it because this is all slightly out of alignment. I don't know if that's going to focus. You can just see there's a gap on this side, and this is just rubbing on the pad. There is ample clearance. I'm trying to get this to go brighter for you, sorry. There we go. There is ample clearance between the rotor face and the housing here, and the rotor face and the housing up in there. So you've got ample clearance, and you can even see my shim or the squeal washer running down through there as well. So I expect that once all of that is all tightened up and put on there, should all be good to go. So that's how I'm mounting C5 rotors onto the 84, 85, 86 and 87s. You need the 85 non-ABS or 86, 87 ABS spindles. You cannot use these 84s.